At the end of a growing season, AgSpy customers can choose to leave the equipment installed in the field, or they may choose to extract the equipment. The chart shown here highlights the difference between the two approaches. Let's talk about what you need to do if you plan to leave the probe in the ground during the off-season. AgSpy automatically stops applying data to your growing season once the projected end date for the season is reached. So if your plant date is June 1st and the season length is 90 days, your graph will stop showing data 90 days after June 1st. So if you only care to see data for that growing season and you intend to leave the equipment installed, you don't need to do anything. However, if you want to track data when the field is not planted or you intend to plant another crop immediately, you need to create a new season. To create a new season, access the site by clicking on its pin. The Create New Season button is found below the existing seasons for the field. When the Create Season dialog box comes up, you simply need to answer the questions it asks. Once you choose your crop type, note that there is a fallow crop type for use if you wish to track data during the off-season. AgSpy will automatically choose an automated template that has been developed for the crop you chose. It also specifies a season length, which you may modify if you choose. You will want to choose an accurate plant date because this will be the start date of your season, and this is the date on which data collected will begin to show on the graph. Simply press Add, and your new season will be created. Note that AgSpy will not allow seasons to overlap, so your end date for the previous season must be prior to the plant date for the new season. Now let's talk about what you need to do when you aren't leaving the equipment installed. You will need to schedule the extraction, physically extract the equipment from the field, and store the equipment for the installation next year. To schedule the extraction, you need to access the Edit tab for the site in question. Next, choose the Schedule Extraction button. Here, you may choose a date on which you plan to schedule the extraction, and then press Save. Once the equipment is physically extracted and thus stops reporting into AgSpy, AgSpy will automatically detach the equipment from the field. This process is run each morning and only detaches the equipment once no data has been received for at least 24 hours. You may have noticed that we also have an Extract Immediately button that we can use. If you have already physically removed the equipment from the field, it makes sense to choose Extract Immediately so that AgSpy knows it should no longer expect to receive data from the site. We have now covered how you schedule an extraction and what AgSpy automatically does concerning extractions. Let's now talk about how you do the physical extraction. The tools you will need to perform the extraction are shown here. An extraction tool, a T-post popper or jack, about 2 feet of chain, a piece of wood on which to rest the jack. This piece of wood spans the hole and stops the jack from sinking into the hole. Pliers, side cutters, and a nut driver to loosen the hose clamps. Let's talk about the physical extraction steps. The first step is to disconnect the power plug from the comm tower. As mentioned previously, the auto extraction process will not occur if the equipment is still reporting in.
To actually extract the probe from the ground, you will first want to dig an 8-inch hole around the top of the probe, thus exposing the probe so you can fit the probe puller on it. You will also want to undo the cable and roll it up. Next, attach the clamp to the probe as shown here. Attach the chain to the clamp and to the T-post as shown in this picture. With everything attached properly, you will be able to extract the probe vertically using the T-post. You will also be able to use the T-post to extract the pole on which the comm tower is mounted.
Once you have physically extracted the equipment, you will want to store your equipment properly to prepare for successful usage of the equipment in a subsequent growing season. First, unmount the COM tower from the post and remove the brackets for storage. Make sure the power plug is removed, but it's best to be kept with the COM tower so it doesn't get lost. Check for nicks or damage to the cable and spool up the cable for storage. It is best to store the probe in a flat position so that it doesn't develop a bow if it's left leaning against a wall.